What's up, heroes? My name is Silerclone, and welcome back to Crystalline. Let's see what this new day has to unfold. So we hike out of the forest, where we were at the Earth Temple, and find a new path. Amy leads us north, and we begin traveling on foot for the rest of the day. My legs ache, and by the time the sun starts to disappear, I'm ready to collapse. Maybe I'm still feeling the effects from trying to cast earlier, but all of this walking is making me even more exhausted than usual. We keep walking until we find a good campsite. Leanna says the large open space would be a good place for me to practice my wind magic in the morning. Emilia sparks a small campfire for us. Zach cooks up another delicious dinner, and by the time I'm done, I can barely keep my eyes open. The rest of the group is still up and talking, but as soon as I lay my head down, I tumble into a deep and fast sleep. Oh, nice. I like that they still kept this audio in here. I really enjoy that. Zach's cooking is delicious, too. I wish I could have seen what Zach cooked. That would have been great. But that's probably why I'm tired, is because of the wind magic. Casting does seem to take a lot out of me. The next day, Leanna and I get up bright and early. We decide to practice sparring before the others wake up. Our swords clash with a score of heavy blows. Leanna forces me backwards with a huge grin on her face. I'm breathing hard and struggling to keep up as my brows knit in concentration. Leanna sweeps my blade aside and comes back around, but I swing in time to deflect it. Oh, look at that. She's excited. Her face brightens and she seems pleasantly surprised.
Wow, that's great. You're getting much better.
Yes, praise from the waifu even more. Really? Leanna's grin turns devilish. Crap.
Hi-ya!
Spartan kick. She lunges and let out a sharp cry, barely raising my sword in time. Sorry, let me retry that there. She lunges, and I let out a sharp cry, barely raising my sword in time. Her movements quicken as she strikes harder. I struggle to keep up, but I manage to hold my own. Ultimately, Leanna's final move knocks me to the ground. I groan, blinking up at the sky. It's hard to breathe with the wind knocked out of me. Are our spars always going to end like this? Probably. Leanna's face appears over mine. She smiles brightly.
That was so much better.
Yeah, I'm still the one on the ground. I lost yet again, though. Trying to catch my breath.
This time. But you're getting stronger and stronger every time.
Thank you for the praise. That cheers me up a little bit. Leanna extends her hand and helps me up.
Let's switch gears. You've been doing really well with sparring, so we should practice your magic training. You need to learn to refine your cast.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know she's right, so I nod. I'm feeling more confident about it now that I know I can cast. I think back on the countless previous training sessions and the frustrations that come with it. Even though I know I still have much to learn before I reach anywhere near Leanna's level. I'm just glad to be past those early stages.
Alright, practice channeling your energy through your manipulator. And this time, keep your focus on where you want to cast.
Skirts and updrafts go perfectly together. Focus on a rock, float the pongo. Okay, I'm now instantly torn. Floating the pongo sounds to me sounds a little on the advanced side. A rock won't hurt anybody. I really want to see the results of this one, though. This one, I really want to see the results, though. But I'm gonna focus on the inanimate object. My attention lasers on a nearby rock. How do I want to do this? Power overwhelming, power underwhelming. Let's go with the underwhelming rather than the over. I have no idea how big this rock is. Power underwhelming. I close my eyes and focus. That familiar energy trickles down my arm. Wind spirals from my gauntlet, but I can't seem to summon enough. The rock levitates just barely off the ground. My arm shakes with effort to keep it there. Leanna sends out a whoosh of air, strong and calm. The rock lifts up a little higher. She smiles.
That's better. You're doing well. You just need to focus on summoning more energy.
Yeah, last thing I wanted to do was send this rock straight up towards the sky. Leanna looks around and points at a large rock.
Try again on this rock.
Fine. I take a deep breath. Clearing my mind and cast again. As usual, a solid gust of wind bursts forth, and I steadily float the rock in the air. Leanna claps her hands together, a wide grin on her face.
Yes, that's it.
Hey, I'm doing it!
Really?
Yes. The Pongo glances at the floating rock curiously.
Oi.
Yeah, you know what it is. In one motion, he jumps right onto the rock. The movement startles me, and the rock jolts in midair. The Pongo wobbles precariously, and I can feel the nerves set in again as I fight to steady the rock.
It's okay. Don't panic. Just keep your focus. Try to float them towards you.
Alright. It's just heavier now, so I had to adjust my energy output. I breathe in and out and refocus. The rock stops swaying.
Good. Keep going.
A strong breeze wisps around the Pongo, keeping him in place. I close my eyes and picture him floating closer.
You got this.
I open my eyes. The rock with the Pongo floats closer and closer. A huge grin blooms across my face. It's working! The Pongo jumps from the rock and onto my head. As soon as the Pongo touches me, I lose my concentration and drop the rock. I can't stay mad at him, though. I just can't. Leanna giggles.
Great job.
Yay, praise from waifu and Pongo. The Pongo wiggles on top of my head. Thanks for being a good sport. Leanna giggles as I pat the Pongo.
I think that's enough training for today. You've made great progress.
I'm gonna go take a nap right now. Care to join? Thanks. I could feel the fatigue start to set in, and I'm grateful to Leanna for ending the session.
Let's go rejoin the group.
Yeah, they should all be awake by now, I think. Leanna nods, and the three of us return to camp. As I predicted, everyone else is awake and even have breakfast prepared. Nice. Little hungry, get some brekkie in me. After we eat and clean up camp, we resume our journey. After a couple of days of travel, we continue to journey along the path when I notice thick clouds darken the sky. Ominous. Or thunderstorm. Terra and Leanna cast worried glances above as a loud crack of thunder rails above.
This does not look promising.
We should find shelter. We don't want to be caught in this storm.
I like how this man thinks. Emilia cross-references where we are with Elder Ism's notes.
We are still quite a ways from Ellendale.
Then we'd better stop at the next city we see.
I think I have an idea of where we are. If I recall correctly, Wolfsden should only be a few hours' travel. We can stop there.
I'd like to check out Wolfsden. Sounds like an interesting place. Once agreed, we pick up the pace to combat the strengthening wind whipping at us and make course for Wolfsden. Eventually, we see the tall towers of Wolfsden. We shuffle through the city gates, casting worried glances at the ominous sky. The turbulent clouds don't look any less threatening. This is a cute little town. I like this. I like just the atmosphere of it. I like the image it prints. Let me see if I can, there we go. That's the button to do that. Like, just look at this. Sure, well, granted, the sky isn't necessarily ominous and threatening because it looks like it's a clear night sky through that background, but it's a cute little town. People keep their heads down as they push past each other on the streets. They must be looking for shelter from the storm. I look at the surrounding buildings. Most are storefronts which blend into each other as if trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. There we go. Third time's the charm. As we travel deeper into the town, a few opulent buildings loom in the sky. I guess that's where the better half lives. Leanna shifts uncomfortably.
Is it just me, or are people staring at us?
That's because I'm sexy. And you're sexier, so that's why it's happening. Looking around, I notice all the furtive glances towards Leanna as people give us a wide berth in passing.
No, they're staring at you.
Zach's comment seems to make her even more anxious. Try to keep her hidden. Who wouldn't stare? She should ignore them. Well, who wouldn't stare, first of all, but, you know, if they're staring at her, we should try to surround her and keep her hidden a little bit, just because I'm wondering if this town has had a bad experience with Mage-Knights. And since Leanna's a Mage-Knight, they might not trust her. Let's try to keep her hidden. I step closer to her to try to block her from view. She blinks in surprise and gives me a small smile.
Thanks, but I'm not sure how much that will help.
It makes me feel better being closer. Maybe it will discourage them from staring.
When you remember what kind of town Wolfsden is, it's no surprise everyone is staring at her.
Why's that? Explain. I give Kara a questioning look. What sort of town is it?
Let's just say that what happens in Wolfsden stays in Wolfsden.
Now, is that something like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or something entirely different? Leanna covers the sigil on her manipulator with one hand.
Maybe this isn't the best place for me to be advertising that I'm a part of the Mage Guild.
So it's a good thing I stood in front of you. Zack nods.
Agreed. You're making them nervous.
The stairs remind me of when I first arrived in Meadow Hill. Should we find you a change of clothes to blend in more?
That is a satisfactory suggestion, but perhaps it should be executed without the presence of Leanna. The longer she is in the streets, the more attention she draws.
Right, we gathered that.
Good point. Let's hurry up and find the inn. Leanna can stay there, and I'll help her find a more suitable outfit.
Oh, I hope it looks something like yours. As the wind picks up, more people creep out of shadowed alleyways as they seek shelter. I instinctively check my pockets. Something about this place has me on edge. Leanna is equally anxious. While Amy's expression doesn't change, she does seem more alert than usual. Only Zack and Kara seem unaffected, because I think they're always on, like, high alert at all times. Like, that's just how they are. Before long, we reach the inn. I let out a relieved breath as the fire crackling in the hearth warms me. Kara and Zack go to secure us rooms and food as the rest of us sit down in a secluded back corner. Although the lobby is full of people, it's more quiet than the other inns we frequented. Most patrons drink alone, and those in groups murmur softly, trying not to draw attention to themselves. We aroused a few curious glances when we walked in, but once we shuffled out of sight, people relaxed and forgot about us. Out of sight, out of mind. The silence grows stifling as both Leanna and Amelia wait for the rest of the group to come back. As I'm wondering if I should say something, Leanna addresses Amy.
There's something that I've been wondering since Hearthpoint, but I haven't had a chance to ask.
Amy shifts her attention to Leanna.
Your mother mentioned that it's taken you a while to get a field study approved.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, that is correct. I understand that such things take time as professors want to ensure the study that is a proper fit for the student. But I will admit that I am beginning to become impatient.
Who wouldn't? It sounds like, you know, with even final school projects, it takes forever, and you don't want to be in school forever. She sighs.
Was the process for your field study equally taxing?
Leanna shakes her head.
No, I actually got the first one I applied for.
Not surprising, actually. Amy blinks. Then her eyes grow wide.
You were accepted upon your first application?
Yeah.
She stares at Leanna.
Maybe the process is different for Mage Knights and Mage Casters.
That actually does make sense. It's probably a little different. I wouldn't think they'd be exactly the same. Amy continues to stare. Leanna looks at me, and I shrug. Amy?
I do not understand.
Uh-oh, she looks defeated.
I have completed all the prerequisites necessary to apply for a field study. I have even attended supplementary training to increase my potential for selection. For all the intents and purposes, I should be the most ideal candidate for the mandatory field study.
Is it just your professor's recommendation that you need?
Correct, but I have been repeatedly told that the field study is not a good fit for me.
Have they given you an explanation as to why? Leanna rests her head in her hands as she thinks.
Do you think it has something to do with your age?
Amy frowns.
My age should not be an eligibility factor. I have proven myself to be capable enough to study as a mage caster.
Now that brings up the big question. How old is she exactly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
This is pretty strange. And they haven't given you a specific reason why you keep getting declined?
Emilia shakes her head.
I am quite perplexed by the situation, especially now that I understand my difficulties are not standard.
I can feel the frustration behind her words. It sounds like the Academy has it out for her, and I think she's only just started to realize that she's being treated differently. You should talk to your professors. I think it's an age issue. That sucks. Well, duh. Well, it could be an age issue, but personally, if this were the case, I talked to my professors. That's what I did in school. If I had an issue with something or it was taking me a long time to come up with something, I talked to my professors and asked for help, or at least recommendations to not give me an idea, but to point me in the right direction. Because it sounds like Amy needs to pick her field study rather than to have one assigned to her, maybe? Maybe that's just my understanding of it, but you should talk to your professors. If it really shouldn't be this hard to get into a program, you should have a serious discussion with your professors when you return. Give them a chance to communicate their concerns and explain why they haven't approved you. Leanna nods.
I'm sure they have their reasons, and it would help you to know why.
Amy looks pensive as the conversation dies down. Kara and Zach soon return with bowls of food, which we quickly eat. As we push our empty bowls aside, Kara drops a key into Leanna's hand.
Okay, so here's a key to our room. You can go upstairs and lay low for the rest of the night. I'll go check the shops and grab an outfit for you.
I'm not sure how to feel with this music. This music makes me feel weird. I don't know what's going to happen next. Are they taking Pongo from me? She winks at Leanna.
Don't worry, it'll still be cute.
Zach silently hands me a key for our room. What about the storm?
Oh, I'll be okay. Zach will come with me.
Zach crosses his arms. Okay, I expected that response, but it's still funny.
I didn't agree to this.
You have no choice now. Kara feigns hurt.
You mean to say that you would let a young woman venture outside into the storm, in the middle of the night, in a dangerous city all on her own?
Even though she's more than capable of handling herself. Zach's eyebrow twitches, but he tries to remain steadfast.
Guilt-tripping me won't work.
I think it is, though.
Who knows what sort of ruffians are walking the streets this late? If they were to get the jump on me...
This is great.
Okay, fine. I'll go with you. Jeez.
Oh, such a chore for you, dear Zach. He pushes himself to his feet. Kara grins widely.
I knew you'd come around.
I'm only doing this so you can't blame anything on me later.
Yeah, you're being guilt-tripped. Kara smiles and drags Zach with her as they head towards the doors.
We'll be back soon.
Have fun, you two. Don't do anything I would. We watch them exit in silence.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night.
Makes sense.
As will I.
It is getting pretty late, and the thought of a real bed is very tempting after having to camp out for so many nights. I think I'll turn in too. Together, we head upstairs, then split into our separate rooms. Does this mean I keep Pongo for the night? He hasn't spoken up in a little while. I relax in my bed for a while, enjoying the peacefulness of the night as I wait to fall asleep. The Pongo mysteriously emerges from somewhere and hops onto my bed. He bounces over and leans against me before finding a comfortable spot in the bed to sleep. Yes, I finally get Pongo for a night! I'm not sure how much time passes, but I eventually hear Zach return to the room and go to bed. I fall asleep not too long after. Finally, that is the biggest success to have Pongo stay the night with me in an inn. He normally doesn't do that. Muffled steps in the hallway pull me awake. Blinking my eyes, I look around. The sun struggles to shine through the overcast sky, making it hard to determine just what time it is. Judging by the noise outside, I'm guessing it's well into the late morning or early afternoon. Zach's bed is empty, while the Pongo snores softly by my feet. He wakes up as I carefully crawl out of bed, and after blinking bleary eyes, grins widely at me. Hi! Hey, buddy. Good morning. Or I guess, good afternoon? Yawning widely, I push myself completely out of bed and get ready for the day. For once, we don't have an agenda to follow while in this town. I wonder what the others are up to and what this city has to offer. Ready to go downstairs? The Pongo shies away and buries himself in my blankets.
Poi.
Huh. That's a weird reaction. You said it. You don't want to go exploring today?
Poi.
The Pongo shakes his head. That's weird. Normally he wants to. I want to say whatever, but let's check on him. That doesn't seem right. I peel back the blanket until he pokes his head free. You okay?
Oi.
He grins at me and looks a little more like his cheerful self. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to go downstairs. You sure you don't want to come? He looks uneasy again and submerges back into the blankets.
Poi.
Okay, fine. You can stay. I can understand wanting a lazy day. I guess he just doesn't like it here. Leaving the Pongo alone, I exit my room and head for the stairs. Before I reach them, I hear a strange noise coming from above. Is there an attic in this place? Investigate. Nope, I've seen horror films. Well, I'm curious. I'd check it out. Yeah, there's a reason I paused there. I was waiting for that. I tiptoe towards where I hear the noise and find a pull-down staircase already lowered. I slowly begin to climb up. As I get closer, I recognize the noise as a series of hushed pois. Is this the Pongo Mafia or something? The poise cease as I poke my head up into the attic. Sitting in front of a card table is a large Pongo. The pudgiest Pongo I've encountered yet, wearing a three-piece suit and sporting a pencil mustache. A cigar hangs from his mouth. The God Pongo. The God Poi. Two Pongo thugs sit on either side of the table. They all freeze and stare at me. Too shocked to react, I stare back at them. After what feels like an eternity, the pudgy Pongo lowers his cigar. I better get out of here before he makes me a poifer I can't refuse. Ah? Worth it. Silently, I lower myself out of the room and quickly head down the stairs. I think I know why my Pongo didn't want to leave the room today. I think it's best to pretend that never happened. Shaking my head, I go downstairs to the lobby. The lobby is as busy as it was the night before, with the same number of people filling the tables. I spot Zach exactly where I expected him to be, right in front of the bounty boards. Kara nurses a drink alone at one of the tables, but I don't see Leanna or Amy anywhere. I bet Leanna's in her room, probably. Find Amelia, talk to Zach, talk to Kara. I'm good for now. Let's talk with Kara. I plop down at the table across from Kara. She raises an eyebrow as I sit. Hey, Kara.
Hey.
Conversation much? She looks amused as she takes a sip of her drink. Got any exciting plans today? She shrugs. Yeah, same here. There's got to be something more exciting to do. What do you think? A sly smile spread across her face. She throws back her drinks and slams the empty mug on the table.
I think I know exactly what we should do.
Okay. I'm not sure I trust that look. What does she have planned? What do you have in mind?
We're going to go gambling.
With what? Oh, okay. No thanks. Maybe we could do something more alone. I'm feeling lucky today. Let's try it out. I've been lucky so far, and I don't think that luck's gonna run out anytime soon. I'm in. Kara nods approvingly.
I had a feeling you'd like my suggestion. Let's go then.
Let's go. Can we gamble here? I follow Kara out of the inn. The streets are deserted as the clouds roil overhead. I glance cautiously at the sky, but Kara remains unconcerned as she surveys the shops along the streets. Finally, she stops in front of a gaudy building. Bright crystals illuminate the sign as they flash distractingly on and off. This place sticks out like a sore thumb. Kara grins as she pushes open the doors. I follow her in and blink as my eyes adjust to the dim room. Even if I hadn't known where we were going, I would have instantly recognized this place as a casino. Half of the room is lined with flashy slot machines powered by mini crystals, while the other half is filled with tables. Both players and onlookers crowd around the tables. In fact, the casino is packed with people. Clearly, the storm is not enough to keep these people from their games. Okay.
So, see anything you like?
Besides you? She gestures at the tables. Oh. You pick. She weaves among the tables, taking cursory glances at each game before deciding.
Have you played Shadow Knaves?
How do you play?
The goal is to reach a numerical value of 21 with the cards you're dealt.
Yes.
You'll start with 2 cards, and you could choose to add cards or stand depending on what you have.
I think I have. No, I'm not familiar with the game. That's blackjack. Oh, I know this game. We have a version of it back home.
Perfect. Then you'll be a pro.
Yeah, we'll go with sure.
Ready to play?
I'm ready to win. In response, I sit down at the table and place my bet. Kara grins and does the same. After the remaining seats at the table are filled, the dealer begins the first round. He slides 2 cards face up. Although the numbers look the same, the suits of these cards are unfamiliar. I have what looks like a 7 of crystals and a 9 of swirly dots. Looking around the tables, my competitors have a total of 18, 13, 7, and 20. But what do I have? Hit me. My cards only add up to 16. No way. I'll win with that in hand. Hit me. The dealer flips over another card to reveal a 5. Nice. The dealer busts and I win this round. Kara somehow is a blackjack master and pretty much kills it every round. Some of the scowls on the other patrons deepen, and I'm glad I'm not a part of the game. They don't look happy at losing all that money. I browse a few of the other tables and recognize the Terra versions of craps and roulette. It's funny how we have fairly similar games, although I suppose not too unexpected considering we're fairly similar worlds. Gambling's gambling. I return to the blackjack table just in time to see Kara abruptly stand.
Time to go.
But what about trying? Kara has a grin plastered on her face and she shakes her head.
Maybe next time, but I think we've had enough gambling for one day. It's time to cash out.
You can count cards, can't you? Not even one more game.
Really, it's about time we get going. Trust me.
She doesn't seem like she'll let up. I shrug and follow her. She's cheating, or something. After cashing out, Kara hastens out of the casino. I jog to catch up with her. Something weird's going on. So what was that all about? Why were you in such a hurry to leave? She smiles innocently.
It was just time for us to go.
Aha. You were totally up to something shady, weren't you?
I don't know what you mean.
Sure. I bet you were counting cards. Kara blinks.
Oh, you noticed?
Wait, what?
What?
That's being resourceful. That's cheating. It's cheating, but it's being resourceful. That's really impressive. You're using your skill set to up the odds in your favor. Kara seems pleased.
Thank you. I'm happy you understand.
I give credit where it's due. Besides, it's not like that giant business will miss the money anyways.
It's true. There are a few people I could think of who could put that money to better use.
Yes. You mean like orphans? Kara whips her head around and stares at me with wide eyes. More specifically, those orphans back in Stonecrest.
How'd you know about that?
I saw you there. I wanted to share my money with them too. Her expression softens.
You gave them money too.
I nod. I felt bad for them.
Yeah. They were just trying to survive in the only way they knew how. I thought if I shared my reward with them, maybe they'll find a way where they won't need to steal again.
I get you. That's why I did it too. Well, now I feel guilty only giving a portion of my reward. She laughs.
Your heart was in the right place.
And that's all that matters, damn it. So, what should we do now? A mischievous grin spreads across her face.
Let's go to another casino.
I'm game. I laugh. This can only be trouble. Game for it, though, either way. I follow her to another casino where we go through the same routine. After winning big again, we part ways and I head back to the inn. And with that being said, I'm going to end the episode here. It's been quite an eventful day, and we'll see what everyone else is up to next time. I'll catch you all in the next video. As always, if you did enjoy the video, let me know by hitting the like button down below or leaving a comment. Feel free to check out PixelFade Studios, the creators of this game, and get the game yourself and try it on early access. I'll leave the link to PixelFade's website, the Steam page, and PixelFade's Patreon in the description down below, and I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.